I'd like to call the Monday, September 18th, 2023 Common Council meeting to order. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilman Frankie.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Clerk Treasurer, Porte.
Councilman Frankie.
Present.
We have to do roll call. vote
Roll
today,
call,
too.
yes.
Councilwoman Ficus.
Present.
Councilman Vincent is absent. Councilman Galloway.
Here.
Councilwoman Konechny.
Present.
Councilman West.
Here.
Councilwoman Cutler.
Present.
1 absent, 6 present.
Approval of minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Call vote.
And we could have a roll call vote, please.
Councilman Frankie.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ficus.
Aye.
Councilman Galloway.
Here.
Councilwoman
Close.
Konechny.
At least I didn't say nay, right?
Councilwoman West.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cutler.
Aye.
We do have petitions and comments of the citizens. Please state your name and address when you come to the mic, 3-minute maximum, and no derogatory negative comments that are towards individuals. We'll begin, and Sue, I apologize, I'm gonna do my best. Anzuski, did I get it right, Anzuski?
No.
Antashevsky. Every time you see a zoo, it's chef.
All right,
Antashevsky.
Antashevsky, so,
Sue Antashevsky, 101 Belden Street. Mainly, it's just a housekeeping thing, just to see, request if the meeting minutes can be updated online prior to the next meeting. Because I think you're behind like 2 months now, or no, a month, so at least a couple of meetings. That's it.
The meeting minutes can be posted once they're approved at the meeting. We get those up. So
Well, no,
we'll
I
double
mean,
check that.
No, 2 meetings prior, they haven't been up since the middle of August.
Oh,
So,
okay.
just that. That's all.
I'll
Thank
double
you
check
very
that.
much.
Thank you.
Mr. Horner.
You all probably don't remember or haven't heard of Fairview Youth Residential Treatment Center. Almost 50 years ago, I was the volunteer coordinator on a volunteer basis. Fairview provided housing, care, and treatment for delinquents rather than send them to an institution. I sponsored programs like bowling leagues, forum, jobs programs. We even did a field trip to Chicago Museum with about 20 kids. Many of them were runaways. We didn't lose a kid. You have to know as much as possible about the people you're working with. And we're talking about people with severe mental illness and drug addiction. According to the Marion County Sheriff, about 49% of people in custody suffer from some form of mental illness, 60% from addiction. Crime in America, a paper published in March of 2022, quotes similar statistics and adds mental and emotional health issues drive crime. Most offenders have challenging or horrific backgrounds of abuse, exposure to violence, PTSD, anxiety, substance abuse, and any array of additional issues. Many violent offenders don't know why they engaged in violence. 43% of state and 54% of jail inmates reported symptoms that meet the criteria of mania. 68% of drug offenders rearrest within 3 years. Experts agree that housing reduces crime committed by people with mental illness and previous drug abuse. But it reduces, not eliminates. According to Jamboree Permanent Supportive Housing, at a minimum, there should be a property manager living on site, and they should have expertise in working with the specific population of residents. National Health Care for the Homeless Council out of Nashville, Tennessee, states their policy and practice brief that states in their policy and practice brief that essential to housing stability is the participation in and adherence to the treatment to a treatment care plan. It's not voluntary. Without safeguards such as these, I have severe doubts that this type of occupancy should be in a residential neighborhood. Overwhelmingly, clinicians describe the daily difficulties of maintaining clients in housing as a process akin to changing one's entire culture of living, especially for those clients who have been living on the streets for long periods of time.
There's the 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
We don't have any more.
No, you've got
We already did that. Yep.
standing committee reports. President Frankie.
The Sustainability Committee meets Monday, September 25th, 4 p.m. here in Council Chambers. The Redevelopment Commission meets Wednesday, the 27th, 5:15, also in Council Chambers. And that's all I have.
Councilman Galloway.
Veterans Committee met November. Last Monday, November 10th, is when the, we're gonna have the Civic with the Veterans program. Information has been sent to the schools. The program starts at 10:30, and afterwards from 12 to 3 will be spaghetti lunch free for all veterans. It'll be at the VFW. The Police Merit Commission met last Tuesday, and they have 5 applicants. They're gonna have Cops and Bobbers September 24th at Beechwood Lakes, and Bolt for the Heart be Cummings Lodge October 4th. Races start at 9 a.m.
And just to remind everybody, to all our elected official friends, that unless you served, you will not be part of the program on Veterans Day. This is about veterans and veterans only.
Yeah, but please come.
But please come and support it. Carol Ficus.
I just have to report that Park Board will meet this Wednesday, 4 p.m. at the Park office. And then Traffic Commission will meet next on Tuesday, October 3rd, 5 p.m. at the police station.
Councilwoman Cutler.
The bid board moved to change their October meeting from Monday to Tuesday, but I'll re-report that again to confirm it, 1st of October, to be sure that the Tuesday time is okay because of the holiday. That's it.
Councilwoman West.
At the last Fire Merit Commission, Battalion Chief Chase Robinson reported that Chief Snyder would like to discuss changing the hiring age to 18 in hopes of catching students from the A.K. Smith Fire Science Program after graduation, and this will be discussed at the October 4th meeting. John Coggins introduced his son, John Jr., who will be taking over the testing process once he retires. There was discussion on a new testing company he would like to see the Merit Commission move towards that will have some of the advantages with this new company. And those advantages would be able to test online, and there'll be 500 questions to choose from instead of the 150 that are available right now. And he requested to move forward with the application process. And the motion, my time up? And the motion passed unanimously. And then the annual performance ratings will be distributed to the officers shortly. And that race in October for the Bolt Play for Jake is October 14th, not the 4th.
Councilwoman Konechny.
Airport Authority. The annual trick-or-treat at the Scareport will be October 14th, 2023. Families can register at the airport for the event that will be held between 1 and 3 Central for trick-or-treating with airplanes. Come out and get ready and get some candy and vote for your favorite airplane display. Registration is required, however, this event is free. The next Airport Authority meeting will be held on Wednesday, October 18th at 5:15 at the airport. And the Historic Preservation Commission will meet next on Tuesday, September 26th at 5:30 here in council chambers.
Councilwoman Cutler, second and final reading.
Sorry. Your Honor, I move to read an ordinance read for the second time by title only.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh,
Opposed? Oh, I'm sorry, roll call.
Councilman Frankie?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ficus?
Aye.
Councilman Galloway?
Aye.
Councilwoman Konechny?
aye.
Councilwoman West?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cutler?
Aye.
Opposed? Councilwoman Cutler.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 25-2022 to amend salaries in the fire department and to add an information technology department. That's it.
I do have a second and final reading of the ordinance. This one would Chief Snyder come forward.
It's Project Swaddle Grant. You can.
We talk about paramedicine and different ways to do things.
Yes, mentioned last meeting, this change in the salary ordinance just allows for the grant that we're receiving with Franciscan out of Crown Point to begin the paramedicine program under Project Swaddle. It allows a vehicle for it. The grant monies to be deposited into the city's funds and then distributed to our personnel to pay them for their time participating in the program.
Questions? Thank you. As well, it'll be for the IT director that we will begin as well. Further questions? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Frankie?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ficus?
Aye.
Councilman Galloway?
Aye.
Councilwoman Konechny?
Aye.
Councilwoman West?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cutler?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, Monroe Street building lease. As many of you know, we, the city of LaPorte, own the child care building on Monroe Street that has been leased to the YMCA. The YMCA has news here of transitioning child care, and Jess Romine, representing the Board of Trustees from the LaPorte YMCA, is here to share the good news.
Good evening, everybody. I'm not used to being on this side of the podium. It's a different perspective altogether. You look better through the camera, Mayor, for sure. I am Jessica Romine. I am the Vice President of the LaPorte County YMCA, and I'm here to talk about some changes that are going to be going on with the location that the Mayor described at the LaPorte Monroe Street Child Care Center. So we have been looking and working very diligently as a Board of Works to find better daycare to fill, to transition to within that space. It's no secret that it's hard since COVID. It's been very difficult to find staffing, to find the qualified care that we need to give to our children. And the children of LaPorte definitely deserve the best care that is possible. To that end, we were very successful in working with some collaborators in LaPorte, some partners, and we have identified and found Wendy's Learning Tree Academy, they have 8 locations in Valparaiso. They're all accredited. They have 5 of the locations have a level 4 accreditation, which is the highest level that you can get, and the others have a level 3 accreditation, and she's working to bring those up. She is going to be working with our current staff over the next 2 weeks to provide a seamless transition, primarily for the children and the parents of the daycare that are continuously there. And I think that what's important to note, or to make sure that everybody understands, is that number one, there's not going to be any disruption in the services for childcare. There's not going to be a single day missed. The child care center will remain open, and nothing will change in that regard. This is Frank Fry. He's our interim CEO for the YMCA. I just brought my backup singers. So there they are. And so there's not going to be any disruption in the care. The center will be open just as normal hours. It'll be open 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. That's not changing. The rates for the parents are not going to change for at least the next 12 months. Wendy has been working very hard to make sure that we could give the best services to the kids, the parents, but also the staff, which is really key. Wendy's got a good support system to continue the education for her staff, to support them, to make sure they're happy so that they can do what is within their passion and show up every day and be a smiling face for those kids, which we find is incredibly important. Unfortunately, our staff over the last, since COVID has been it's been limited and it's been stressful for them. And so I think this is gonna be a win-win-win all the way around. And we're just really excited that this is going to take place and going to happen. The transition will be completed on October 1st when Wendy will be taking over 100% of the operations, and the Y will no longer have any decision-making abilities. We won't be having any further role there, and we're just hoping that with the consistency and staffing, remaining there with the kids to see every day, that it'll just be seamless and everybody will be happy, and it's going to be a great impact on the community all the way around, having Wendy and her team here. And with that, I will introduce Wendy Jenkins and her team from the Learning Tree. This is Wendy.
Wendy, welcome.
Thank you.
What
We're
was
very excited.
What was really important to us was also that we align the Y's mission and values to find a daycare that we felt did the same thing. And Wendy's team goes above and beyond that, as you can see in some of the presentation, the slideshow presentation. I'm gonna let Wendy's team talk a little bit about all the wonderful things they do.
Thank you.
And if you can't see, you're welcome to move over here with the screen. So, Wendy, welcome.
Thank you. So we are excited to work with the team over at the Y and trying to transition everyone over to our team, but just to work with them and let them know that they are important. But a couple of my girls would love to talk to you about our presentation.
And please nudge me along if I'm falling behind on the slideshow. Yeah.
Okay, you go to the next one. So this is Sierra, she and Corey. Corey's in charge of education, and Sierra does HR. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so if you want to go ahead, skip to this one, Corey's going to talk first.
So our plan is to bring, obviously, quality childcare to the community within LaPorte, and also incorporate LaPorte Community Schools input so that we know that we are preparing the children the best we can for kindergarten. Our employees are very proud to work for us. We are a great company who have a lot of positive morale. We have open communication with our employees so that they always can talk to us if they need help, and we are starting this process already with the employees at the Y.
Go ahead and go to the next one. As Miss Wendy introduced us, Miss Wendy Jenkins is the owner. We have Miss Casey Combs, which she's not here, but she is the Director of Human Resources and Employee Relations. Miss Christina Squires is over there, and she is the Director of Daily Operations. Miss Corey Spurrier, she's the Director of Education, and then myself, I'm the Assistant of Employee Relations, and then the Enrollment Specialist.
So I will say one thing, that this is just the team that we're bringing to LaPorte. So they are dedicated to LaPorte. We also have a team in Falbo that will not be coming, but these guys are dedicated just to LaPorte.
And as you can see, we have a 2-week timeline at this point. We have but 4 weeks, but by the mid-October, we should be completely integrated and ready to go. But October 1st is our goal, yes.
Go ahead and go back one. So our steps for transition. First, we start with the licensing submission, and then as we already are meeting parents and staff and the children today, and then we plan to employ, train, and develop staff as needed to keep the doors open and the rooms at capacity. So regulations for state requirements, we do a monthly checklist for all of the rooms to make sure that we are passing all of our inspections and monitoring like child ratios and all of that. We follow Paths to Equality, so we make sure that the Paths to Equality, our centers are up to date and that they are good, organized, clean, and ready to meet the developmental needs of all of our students. We work in tandem with our Spark coach to build these portfolios. As we already went over, our goal is to achieve a level 4 is the highest. We have 5 of the Valparaiso ones already there, and then the rest are 3 and working in progress. Hiring. So that is a big part of what we do. We sponsor jobs on Indeed. We advertise on social media. We recruit through the local colleges, especially in the early childhood and the elementary programs. And then we do employee referral programs with like gift cards and stuff like that. So Brightwheel is our communication software for parents. This is how we keep them updated on just what we're doing throughout the day, send them parent pictures and updates and all of that. They also have access to upload their documents that are required for state. This is how we stay organized and ensure that we are on top of our kid files when we do get our inspections. And then enrollment. So part of my job as the enrollment specialist is to meet with the parents on a individual one-on-one basis and let them know of the programs that are available for them so that they can find the resources that they qualify to afford the child care. As they said, employee benefits is a huge part of employee morale and keeping our staff with us. So we offer a lot of benefits that are just listed, and then just like we do the company parties, we do monthly lunches, and employee of the month just for recognition because they're what makes us capable of doing what we're doing. And then employee education. So the first step of furthering employee education is the CDA. It is the nationally recognized professional development for early childhood. That is the first step, and then we go into the associate's and bachelor's degree. We work with them to apply and get the TEACH program, which is a grant that is awarded to qualifying candidates. And then Connect Teams is also another software that we use just for employees. This is how we keep our employee files all organized and up to date. We also use it to communicate with our staff. So they all have their own chats. We do like a staff directory, employee surveys, training courses, time off requests. All of that stuff is in one app that is easily downloadable.
All right, now down teacher support. So the teachers, obviously, they've been kind of stressed due to low numbers and just COVID. So we are here to meet with them weekly so that they know that we are here to help them. We will discuss lessons, preparations for the week, what do they need help with, instructional resources, and also classroom management tips and tools. And then Success by 6 is 6 years of age. This way, we can promote the skills that the kindergarten teachers in LaPorte, or really kindergarten through 6, are looking for their students. So we will talk with them one-on-one, and they can let us know what they need from us, and we will do our best to provide that for them. And then our goals are to foster a culture of community engagement through LEAP, bridge the community gap between business and family. Our goal is to always provide an engaging, creative, and learning environment that supports the students and the staff. But mostly, we just want to be a positive, impactful change for this community. And that's it.
Thank you for sharing. Are there questions for the learning tree? I mean, from a LEAP perspective, I know Bert Cook, you may speak. One of the biggest things we hear from employers is lack of childcare. And we appreciate the YMCA's years of service in childcare, but there are 69, 70 families that would have been affected. And, this council's decision is to support a lease that would transition to the learning tree. But Bert, if you could, I don't know if you want to add anything regarding childcare and the importance to our employers.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, City Council. Bert Cook, Executive Director of the LaPorte Economic Advancement Partnership. And just a couple thoughts, Mayor, you're correct. I think we often talk about both the affordability and availability of childcare, and how that is a barrier for many people. We work diligently to create jobs within the community, and finding enough people to fill those jobs continues to be an issue. Childcare is absolutely one of those barriers, so would strongly encourage your support of this building lease and helping the address what is an issue not just in our community but in all of our neighboring communities and across the United States as well. Thank you.
and Carol Ficus and Laura Konechny attended a meeting. They've had more time to spend with the Learning Tree, so any thoughts there?
I'm just really happy that they stepped up to do this. The presentation that they gave us, I thought was incredible. I think their ideas are like on par, and I think our kids are gonna excel. So I think it's a wonderful thing, wonderful addition to the community.
My biggest takeaway is the biggest fear would be 70 families, at minimum 70 families, and that doesn't, and who knows how many children amongst those families that would be left come October 1st with a void. Quality care coupled with education, with the standards for the success to 6. I think it's imperative, whether you choose to go to parochial school, public school, or whatnot, a solid foundation that will be provided for these children. I especially appreciate the fact of the rate freeze, if you will. I don't know if that's the proper term, but the fact that families can project and budget 12 months out without having to panic and wonder if they could afford quality care that they've become accustomed to, basically on the fly. So the fact that your organization has stepped up, has a proven track record of success, and your goal to bring this, your facility in LaPorte to level 4 as well, I think is fantastic, a great addition to the community. And if you folks can get to capacity, that would ease the burden of more than just the 70 families that would have been affected immediately.
I serve on the board for the YMCA, and I'll echo their thoughts, but also say thank you. We knew as a board that we weren't really good at childcare. In fact, quite the opposite. And it's really not the Y's mission to provide, full-time daycare. And without a partner like you, there would be 72 families scrambling right now, and childcare is it's really hard to find right now in the city of LaPorte. So without you guys stepping in, it could have a big impact on our local economy. So thank you.
So this would be a transition of the current lease with the Y to a 3-year lease, allowing the Learning Tree, which is a for-profit child care program, to repair, improve the necessary work that has to be done inside the building. And then we look forward to negotiating a rate in the future. But again, I can tell you the state, they're highly recommended from the state of Indiana, have a great relationship there. And we're not only excited about the 6970 families, but the opportunity this could lead to 140 more, or a total of 140 seats, correct? Which is much needed in the city of LaPorte. Further questions? Do I have a motion to approve the Monroe Street building lease?
So moved.
Second.
President Frankie will abstain. And from what I understand.
We have to vote individually, though.
Right.
Yep.
So I understand the employees and parents were very supportive as well overall. Great. So roll call vote.
Councilman Frankie will abstain. Councilman Ficus?
Aye.
Councilman Galloway?
Aye.
Councilwoman Konechny?
Aye.
Councilwoman West?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cutler?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Wendy and Learning Tree, welcome to the city of LaPorte.
That was 5-0.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 5-0.
I've got it.
So it was a great weekend at the Sunflower Fest. Congratulations and thank you to Brett Benversi and the team of volunteers that I think we had the largest crowd ever, and just fantastic booths, everything, something for everybody here, Friday night and Saturday. Also, we roll right into this coming Friday, Loverboy, the 80s rock group that I know everybody loves, will be at the Civic Auditorium Friday evening. So don't miss out on enjoying an 80s rock band, which was before Mr. Frankie was born.
Not true.
And if we could, while we have a moment, Frank from the LaPorte YMCA, if you don't mind coming forward, introduce yourself. You've stepped up. You are interim CEO.
Correct.
And welcome to LaPorte. If you don't mind sharing a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My involvement with the Y started when I was 6 years old, when my mother took me to learn how to swim, and I never went home. So I've lived at the Y basically all my life. But I made the Y a career. I retired in 2016 after 47 years of service to the Y, most in the Chief Executive Officer capacity, servicing Ys in New Jersey and mostly in Pennsylvania. 37 years of that was in Pennsylvania. And since I've retired, YUSA has asked me to come and help Ys during interim searches during the interim period where they lose their chief executive officer. So this is my 7th posting since retirement, and I'm enjoying being here in LaPorte and helping out for a few months until the Y board completes their search for a new permanent chief executive officer, and they are on board.
Welcome to LaPorte. We're excited to have you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And then lastly, Julie West, as a reminder, Bolt for the Heart Race. We need everybody. We need 1,200 participants. We need everybody in LaPorte to sign up. This goes for a great cause, AEDs for all law enforcement, if you don't mind sharing.
Sure. What was kind of cool, well, you know what, I'll start over here. Yeah, we need to have 26 more AEDs in our county's first responder vehicles, and it will also go towards maintenance of batteries and pads. And we're hoping to have a great turnout. It's at Cummings Lodge on October 14th. We'll have a band from Blast from the Past from LaPorte, Mike and the boys, right? Yeah. Some food trucks, vendors, and we're just hoping lots of families join in and participate in the 5K, 10K walk run. So please sign up. We'd love to see you there.
And it supports public safety, and it supports to make sure we don't leave anybody behind and make sure there's access for everybody with AEDs.
Absolutely.
With that, I would like to read a letter that came this past weekend. It says, "Dear Mayor Dermody, I've been a resident of LaPorte for the better part of many years, and for various reasons over the years, I've had many dealings with our engineer's office, water department, and sewer department. Please, during your next meeting with the department heads, staffs, and public, thank them on my behalf for a job well done, and make sure you thank all of the employees for the remarkable job they do. After 40 years in the civil construction industry, I know none of it is easy, and they do a remarkable job. Please make sure the message gets to all the people, including the field people, as they are making our city a better place, and tell them to keep up and work safe. Thank you, Jeff Dunafin of LaPorte." With that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Roll call.
Councilman Frankie.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ficus.
Aye.
Councilman Galloway.
Aye.
Councilwoman Konechny.
Aye.
Councilwoman West.
Aye.
Councilman Cutler.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Have a great evening, everyone.